and it will render it all in the same call to it. So basically, it's like we made one single cube mesh that just, works. Well, it doesn't work, but it'll render better because it does it all in one train run. You know, where if we did this cube and we put a different material on each one of them, then the video card actually has to process 12 different cubes. You lose your batching. Now, because I'm bringing this up, and you're like, what happens? What's the big deal about that? Well, take a game that you have, and you're like, well, we got bricks here, we got stone walls here, and you have all these different types of material. Well, guess what? When you're in this focal point for the camera, which paint would probably work better. Okay, we take our, this is our camera here, and then we have a focal point where we're viewing this area, and we have stuff here, 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 here. Even though the player cannot see it, the camera system in Unity still renders it. So everything in this point is drawing onto your video card. And because you have multiple different materials that are different colors or different, different pictures for each one and things like that, you actually lose your batching and your video card is working harder. And this is bad for you. I mean, yeah, you're like, well, I don't want all my walls to look the same, or vice versa. It really makes it stupid looking, and it just brings not so nice. Well, see, the thing is, you can get over that very easily by doing a, this is our texture, okay? Well, in our texture, we have different things that we can cut this into. And we'll have text 1 and texture 2 and texture 3 and texture 4. Okay, and this can be a 4K image, really easy. And you might have a 1K image for, your bricks and stuff, with the tiling and all that. So you could put 4 different images in here just because you got that 1K image, 1K, 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 1K. Well, here's the thing. We can go our nice little red here. Bam. Okay, and we got second texture, third, and fourth. Okay, well, guess what? This is all one texture. So these 4 different draws that you have on your video card now gets rendered in a single thing. And each one of these can be a different object. It's not going to work harder on the GPU because those textures are just getting called up less. Okay, so one of them could be this could be a box. This could be a different type of box in there, or another type, or another type. So each time it could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, guess what? These are now all one batch, one big old batch. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 batches, six different calls, you get down to 1, 2, three different ones, okay, which is really great for you because you could gain probably a frame from that. And instead of, like I said, what would be an example of this? Oh, it deleted it. You stink. Okay. And instead of this huge thing like this, well, we had really great ones on that one. But instead of that huge farm, like even this window, there's a lot of batching going in the background. See, you got this window, this window, this window, this window. Internally, I bet these all are running off the same texture, kind. Okay, this same design pattern. Okay, so the editor would run better, and that's something that you have to look at in your own game. Okay, like let's go into the good old asset store. Okay, let's just get a nice little prime example. Okay, go into 3D models, and we will go into any of the cheap stuff. Where's cheap stuff? Cheap stuff. And we will go into where would be a good example of this. Probably, yeah, this might be a good one. I don't know. But, alright, well, let's just do a picture of it like so. Alright, see, here. He's got a little gray here, a little gray here. This is all going to be on a single texture. We can probably see the texture right here. See how he's got this compacted like this? This is what a lot of your levels should be like if you design a level. If you want more frames per second, you're going to want to do a technique like this. And what this is actually called for when it comes to level design and things is a term called atlasing. What it does is it combines all those textures and packs them into one so your GPU doesn't work as difficult. And this is very important for rendering purposes because the less time that your CPU is using for rendering, it could be using it in other resources, managing it. Because in this focal point right here, you could have millions of vertices right here, okay? And you may need the power from that's coming from you not using a lot of textures to pushing out vertices, okay? So basically you're making the frame rate better in that direction. Now, sometimes it is your code, which, you know, there's things you could do about it, but in your art problem, and this is a really big thing when it comes to 2D, okay? In a lot of 2D games, they will have a version of this button right here. They'll have buttons stacked up like this. It'll be all one great big old texture, and it'll be, and they'll just use a UV of this one for one button, a UV of this one for another, and another, like you would do a character and things. And that is how we get a lot of our performance back from the art department. Sometimes it's just too many vertices and triangles, which if you look at my one buddy Neo's channel when he does his character creation and things, you will see a lot of what it calls vertices and triangles, and also what we call planes, quads. Those are terms that he should be using with you guys, and I'll try to remind him to explain what those terms actually mean, things. But he'll go over with you on some of these concepts. And I thought I should bring these up because if you don't have these, every bit of code that I give you is just useless because your art will just kill everything. And what most people don't understand is not all on the mobile platform, you have to do a lot of squishing down on art. You will be compressing a lot of textures into an atlas, or baking down or making your characters more lower when it comes to vertices versus, like your PC platform and things, because it is a hurdle. Now, the reason why I say it's a hurdle is most, when it comes to mobile phones and things, have a very limited amount of space when it comes to imaging. Okay, their video that it uses for what we call GPU or rendering or whatever term you want to use that you're familiar with, it is a lot lower. Okay, and you have to think about it because let's say I take my shooter game that's on my YouTube channel, okay, and try to make it mobile, for the phone. Won't work at all. I have way too many textures, and not only that, but I don't think the mobile platform will do a 20 some K vertice count at all. I have faith that it would just not even run. Now, some of your high end ones, I might be able to pull it off, but I doubt it. Okay, I seriously doubt it. Now, that that part of the series should be done. I mean, I think we've done pretty much of it. This I would like to get back to because not everybody writes in C sharp, so they're going to need to know certain things about this. Now, when it comes to C sharp to Java, there's pros and cons. Let's say pros and cons. Others, okay, we'll go down to here. Others when it comes to classes. Let's go down to array. Arrays allow you to store multiple objects in single variables. An array class is available. What? Only a no. We got arrays, and man, this thing. Well, it depends on what you mean by array. I guess you could say. See, we got arrays in C sharp, but they are there are two types of arrays in Unity: bullet arrays, which are normal Java ones, and arrays built in, built in, and then native .NET arrays, which are extremely fast and effective, but can not be resized. Yeah, these are the ones that we have in C sharp that can't be resized at runtime. Yeah, kind of sucks, but that's the thing. Now, in I believe the Java, the